Hello, everyone, and welcome to the RedFlex. My name's Harris. I'm joined with Abdul. What a day it's been here!
Unbelievable day.
Unbelievable. For those of you who've been following our videos, Cass has been out. He was at Old Trafford today. He was able to soak it in the drama, the events that unfolded. We're going to try and break it down for you guys today, but it was absolutely unbelievable. It's got some massive media coverage for those who obviously have been asleep or have been living under a
Under
rock
a rock,
over,
yeah.
over the last few hours. The Man United game against Liverpool was called off due to the anti-Glazer fan protests. There were a few thousand people outside the ground, a couple hundred outside the Lowry Hotel. A few of the fans were able to access the ground. They got in, they were running around, walking around, on the goalposts and the corner flags, doing all sorts, causing a bit of mischief, let's just say. And yeah, it meant that the game was initially delayed. After that, it obviously got called off, which causes a fixture problem, which we'll discuss in a second. But if you were there, guys, if anyone's watching, if you were there at the ground, leave some comments, let us know what was
Yeah, we would
what was
love to
going
hear
on.
your experience of what happened this afternoon.
100%. I was following Qasim's coverage live on YouTube, and it was, Qasim was telling us it was quite emotional. He felt a real strong connection with the fans and the actual cause and the feeling, that it is surely now time that the Glazers sell up, move out, and we can get someone in who's passionate about the club and who's willing to run it in the right way. Abdul, from the videos that you've seen from Qasim, the one on the media coverage, Sky Sports, other media outlets, there's been some mixed reviews. Obviously, there's been a lot of positivity in terms of the fan message and how that the fans are now taking a stance. But then on the other side, we've heard in some unconfirmed reports. I've not seen any footage of police officers being attacked, cars being vandalized, all that kind of stuff. What's your thoughts on all this?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I have to say that there was some fantastic coverage on the RedFlex this afternoon. Gaston did an awesome job, and he was right in the middle of the protest. I think anyone watching that video would have felt the energy, would have felt the anger that everyone had who was there. And I mean, it was great to see in regards to seeing the fans kind of uniting and having that kind of one message. But I still feel like I think some fans may have taken it too far. And it's ultimately caused the game to be postponed. There's a game that we were looking forward to. Every United fan all over the world would have been looking forward to this game. And I think, in my opinion, it might be a controversial opinion, but I think some fans probably went a bit too far and to cause the match to be postponed, especially because they went into the red zone of certain areas of the stadium, which we're not allowed to go into, which is only reserved for referees and for the United and Liverpool players and staff. So because they went into there, I don't think the match was ever going to happen at that point. So for today, even though they said it was going to be delayed, it was never going to happen because they have to literally deep clean that, and it's going to take more than the amount of time they probably would have had for this match to have actually taken place.
I get that. I think that was part of the reason. I think there were other, they put it down to security concerns. But yeah, I mean, I think the game itself, let's just talk about the game. It would have been an opportunity, obviously, for Man United to put the final nail in Liverpool's Champions League quest. So that would have been quite nice. But on the flip side, obviously, even a draw, to be honest, would have meant, in theory, City, it would have been 12 points, 4 games to go. They've got a much superior goal difference. It would have been title over, wouldn't it? Which, to be honest, I wasn't too concerned about because,
Yeah, I
if it
mean,
didn't happen
it's
this
going to
week,
happen
yeah, yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
It's
If
going
it
to
didn't
happen
happen this
anyway. I
week,
mean, that's
it
not.
happened this week, would happen next week.
Yeah,
But the only point why the reason why I'm raising it is because Jono, if you remember, Jono, who came on last month, just before the City game, he was texting me throughout saying, "Oh yeah, United is they're an embarrassment. An embarrassment, like as in like the only reason why the fans have done it is because you don't want City to win the title today, all this kind of stuff." And I was just like, mate.
City going to win regardless. There's nothing that we could have done anyway.
Exactly.
That's a
yeah,
non-comment.
Well, I think he was just, maybe it was a bit of tongue in cheek, but I think genuinely he was ready to celebrate the title today. I think that's what the issue was. I think he was mentally thinking that Liverpool would probably do them a favour, and then he would be able to gloat that City had won the title. But was it meant to be for them? For me, let's talk about this fixture pile-up. So United play every midweek until the end of the season. The only weekend they had off was for the FA Cup final. However, Liverpool do play that weekend, so there isn't actually a free slot for this game, which means obviously there's probably game is going to have to take place either 48 hours or after, or 48 hours before a game. What are your thoughts on that, Abdul? Is that, I mean, for me, my concerns are if it's towards the end of the season, you don't want to be playing 4 games in the space of 8 days, 9 days when you're kind of leading up to a final. I mean, you could argue United might play a weakened team, but ideally you don't want to do that, because of sporting integrity. You want to, ideally put out a decent team, because obviously all the teams might be fighting for, either this relegation or top 6 or what have you. But it causes an issue, doesn't it? It causes a fixture part. For me, the game should happen tomorrow.
That was a long question. I'm not sure what the question was now.
Yeah, I'm just asking.
But yeah,
in your opinion,
was it a question?
In your opinion,
I've listened for 2 minutes. I don't know if there's a question in there or not.
So I'm just saying, in your opinion, when should this rearranged game, fixture take place?
It might be the case that we have 3 games in a week. Then in that case, so I think the kind of silver lining in regards to not playing this match could be that I'm expecting probably a lot of the reserves to play against Roma, or at some point they will be on the pitch, which means technically speaking they could have, so the kind of first team could have a kind of a week off, because I think last season the issue we had was the number of games at the end actually cost us that game, especially against Sevilla, and I still remember that game. Because I actually remember going out to watch that game, and
it was very just like uncharacteristic.
It was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. You could tell, you could tell they were really tired. This week off that they're going to have, where they don't have a game, could actually work in our favour, because hopefully towards the latter end of the season, maybe the final few games, maybe we've got that second place fully secured, and we don't need to play any of our first team, so we can focus on the Europa and think, so it might work in our favour, it might not. Maybe too many games in a week might cause some additional injuries. Who knows? So, but I was really looking forward to the game. I think we had a fantastic chance against Liverpool, who are not in the best of form anyway.
Yeah, true.
And if we had won this game, Liverpool would have been even further behind, even under more pressure. But they still have to play this game, so most teams are going to be kind of 1 game ahead of them, which means they'll have more points, which means they'll be further down the league than maybe they should have been, which again can create some extra
scoreboard
pressure on them. Yeah. So just either way, we don't know what effect it's going to have. The only thing that I wanted to see was the game. I was so looking forward to this game. I think it would have been a great occasion. We were in top form. I was very confident of a win against Liverpool, and now it's going to be maybe rearranged in between a few other games where we're maybe not going to play our first team like we had out today. I think Edison Cavani wasn't due to start, but pretty much it was our first team that was out.
Yeah, I think there's a comment, but can you bring it up on your screen? I'm having some technical issues.
Yeah, so we got a comment from OMG events. Sad that it got out of hand. Yeah, totally agree. I think majority of the fans were quite peaceful. I mean, I think you would agree, Harris, as well. From the footage that we've seen, it seemed like the gates were open for them. I mean, that's what they're saying on radio as well. They actually opened some gates or some areas where fans could go in, and that resulted in them going inside the actual Old Trafford stadium and going on the pitch. And then another comment last week was very peaceful. Yeah, I agree. And again,
we covered that, didn't we? Yeah,
RedFlex were there again, and it was very peaceful. So so something happened. As far as I know, I think last week there wasn't that much of a police presence. So I think when there is a police presence, it causes that extra angst and it causes that kind of edginess, which is probably what happened on this occasion. Don't know what you feel about that, Harris.
I just think, for me, let's see tomorrow what, how the media kind of portrays this. I think it'd be a shame if that is what gets highlighted. The fans raiding the pitch, the incidents with maybe police getting injured, and like the vandalism and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, which is not on at all. That's unacceptable. They are not Man United fans.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just think even if they are so-called United fans, I just think again it comes to that point, isn't it? Taking it too far. It has to be done in the right way, and it seems as though a very small section didn't do that, which is a shame. I just think it was an emotional day for a lot of the fans. I think Gary Neville was very emotional. Roy Keane,
very emotional
on Sky Sports.
Souness as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, Souness as well. They were all quite passionate about it. Jamie Carragher obviously had his few minutes as well. Everyone's really, really passionate about what's happened, and they do. I think they're all in agreement. These owners who, don't, who don't really have, the fans' interest at heart. I think that there's always these things, which are true about Old Trafford. How the Glazers haven't invested in the stadium. There's areas of the stadium that look really worn out, worn down. The whole IT issues they had a couple of months back with the IT breach. Personally, I know someone who used to work in the IT department there, and again, he confirmed, they've not invested in the IT department for years. So it just seems unbelievable. United, one of the biggest clubs in the world, have such a poor IT infrastructure. It's just bizarre. And yeah, you've got all these, you've got Tottenhams of the world, and you've got Everton now. You've got kind of like planning permission for their new stadium, and in Old Trafford, historic as it is and all that kind of stuff, it is actually outdated. And it does need investment, which the Glazers haven't done, because I think we've been talking about it. It's not, there's no kind of like return on it for them, investing in the stadium. But but there can be. It's just bizarre. There's other stadiums have these kind of like fan zones and
Etihad, for example. They made the area around the stadium unbelievable. It's a fantastic example of how the owners can invest in the local area, and I'm sure they will get a return on their investment. Exactly.
But the reason why we wanted to make this video was just to get a reaction, just to once it's all sank in. I said Qasim, brilliant coverage by Qasim. He did a great job today. He was there for several hours. He was able to kind of get the fans' reaction. And everyone, as I said, we're all in agreement. We do, fully kind of agree with, fans protesting in a peaceful way, but obviously we can't condone, some of the other stuff that's gone on. But
especially Old Trafford. I mean, this is our home ground, and why would you want to damage equipment and things of your home ground? It makes no sense. It's like, does it? Yeah. Why? I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, just to wrap up, guys, it's not a video that we wanted to kind of drag on, but, it seems as though from the feeling we got from the fans and what Qasim's kind of like fed back to us, this may be something that happens every home game now until the rest of the season. So I think that'll be interesting. Very interesting to see how that kind of plays out. Abdul, you got any thoughts on that? Is it productive, where there's a risk of the game being called off every other week?
I mean, after it happened, I was listening to a lot of content on a lot of different kind of media channels. One of the questions that kept on kind of coming up from like fans and people from the media as well was, is this actually going to make a difference? Because nobody can force the Glazers to sell. Nobody can force them to do anything. Is this actually going to make a difference? Is this the best way to go about it? And even if we did get the 50+1 rule, just say if a massive investment was needed for a particular season, who will stump up who will stump up the money? The fans are not going to pay extra money, are they? They're not going to reinvest into the club. So, I understand the 50+1 rule. You want that fan representation, which is great. But then when a further investment is needed, 50% of the club is owned by the fans. Are the fans going to then reinvest? Are they going to kind of then add more money to the pot? It's just. I mean, I understand what they're intending to do. Fully makes sense, but then at some point they're going to say we don't have enough money to do what we need to do because we're the fans. We don't have enough money to invest 100 million. We can't raise 100 million to do X, Y, and Z. So it's really interesting. It's really, really interesting. Is it actually going to make a difference? And if this was to go ahead, is it actually beneficial in the long run? I mean, I understand fans should be on the board. I totally agree with that. But if we look at it from a financial point of view, will that set us back, or will that actually enhance what we're doing at the moment?
Interesting. But as I said, I've not fully read up on how it works in Bundesliga, because obviously theirs is based on that model, isn't it? That's why that 50+1's cropped up. I'm not sure how that actually works, but maybe that's something we can look into. Maybe in our next video we can discuss that. We have no reception.
Yes,
and
that's
no
a good
Wi-Fi.
point.
Yeah,
Old Trafford has no Wi-Fi.
Old Trafford.
No
Can you believe
Wi-Fi.
that?
Unbelievable.
Again, that's the point I was trying to make. Every other stadium, as I'm aware, the top Premier League teams all have it. All have Wi-Fi for fans and stuff like that.
In this day and age, that's unacceptable.
And for those who've been at Old Trafford, they'll know you don't get any data when you're in there. It's absolutely shocking, the signal. Regardless of which network you're on, it's absolutely shocking. Very, very rarely you'll get a signal, data signal in there. So yeah, Wi-Fi would be just the bare minimum, really. But anyway, they're just some of the points that we wanted to discuss today. For those who are new to the channel, I know we've had a lot of coverage, a lot of views, a lot of likes on the videos that we've done today. If it is the first time that you are watching, guys, please do like, comment, and subscribe. We've got our social media handles at the bottom of the page.
If you did, guys,
it'd be great if you did, because as I said, we're a channel who want to promote being inclusive, in terms of when we don't kind of like discriminate who you are, where you're from, all that kind of stuff. We've had many people on from all parts of the world, different nationalities, people from the US, Africa, India, you name it. And this is something that we want to continue. This is just made us even kind of today's events made us even more passionate about what we're doing, and hopefully over the next few months and next season, we can really see a push on this. But yeah, guys, please do continue to support us. And as I said, we will be bringing you any sort of news that we do get about this rearranged fixture. We'll be back for, usually, we always do a video, for the match previews and the post-match video. So obviously, if there's no game between now and Thursday, hopefully on the Wednesday we will have a match preview, for Roma. And then hopefully after the game as well, we will have some things to discuss. But yeah, guys, it's been emotional today. We felt it was really important to get a video out because a lot's happened. Just wanted to clarify, what's gone on, and just to share some of our views. But yeah, we hope to see you guys on our next video. And so up until then, guys, take care, and we will see you very soon.